On Thanksgiving morning in 2010, gunfire shattered the quiet in Ruskin, Florida. 2 men were killed, 4 others seriously injured. The shooter, wearing a t-shirt labeled Sheriff, fled in a 2-tone Chevy minivan. It would take 12 years to catch him. The man behind it? Michael Keatley, an ice cream man turned vigilante. He didn't look dangerous, a limp, a cardigan, and a calm face. But that image hid a deep obsession with revenge. In January that same year, Keatley was working his purple ice cream truck when a woman waved him down. As he went to serve her, 2 men jumped him, shot him multiple times, and stole just $112. His hand and leg were shattered. Badly injured, Keatley couldn't use his phone but managed to drive until he found a customer who called for help. He was rushed to the hospital and spent weeks recovering. Ice cream trucks are easy targets, full of cash, predictable, and often alone in quiet areas. Police investigated, but no suspects were found. Keatley survived, but the attack didn't just break his bones, it changed something inside him. What happened next would turn a victim into a killer.
Well, he's grateful to be alive after being shot 5 times.
I didn't see it coming.
He thought she wanted a cold treat, but what happened next was chilling.
She was just smiling, happy as everything was fine. Took 2 steps back. Next thing you know, I got a guy with a gun in my face.
2 masked men robbed Keatley of all he had, a couple of books. But they didn't just leave.
Just boom, 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 boom. And every time my heart would beat, I'd just see blood just shooting out.
Some of Keatley's regular customers helped save his life.
Up to there. That's about as high as I can get it.
Keatley's road to recovery will be long, his future uncertain, but he knows one thing.
They're absolute scum.
He wants this violent gang caught.
Just pick up the phone and call, please. Because nobody else should have to go through this. And if they were so brazen to shoot me like this over $12, they're gonna just kill him.
In the months after the shooting, police found nothing. No leads, no suspects. Even with rewards offered, the case went cold. Keatley couldn't work and had no insurance. Medical bills piled up. Locals donated through jars placed in shops and gas stations. Desperate, Keatley brought in David Beckwith, a convicted felon, to help run the ice cream van. Officially, Beckwith worked the window, but really, he was there for backup. Keatley was now hunting the men who shot him. Both carried guns, even though neither was allowed. Keatley had 2 pistols. Beckwith had a Glock. Their ice cream route had turned into a patrol. Keatley wasn't always innocent. He'd once threatened a rival vendor, promising to burn her truck if she sold in his area again. He also had a restraining order from a past altercation. According to Beckwith, Keatley became obsessed with revenge. When he heard about a guy nicknamed Creeper, he made it his mission to find and punish him, law or no law.
Your testimony is that he was riddled with shots, right? Like bullet shots. That's your statement. That he was riddled with shots.
Yeah, you should have seen the van. It was all bloody still when I saw it.
And by your own words, he was, I'm not going to use the ugly word, effed up. Those were your words.
Sure.
Michael Keatley,
Okay.
in your words, was effed up. Right?
Yeah, I'm effed up. Can you tell?
We'll let the jury decide that. In fact, Michael Keatley would rarely leave the driver's seat. Rarely during the time that you were working with him.
Sounds fairly accurate.
And the financial arrangements, as you said in direct examination, they were pretty generous, right?
Yeah, I felt they were generous.
And the reason that they were generous is that Michael Keatley could not run that truck without you. That's the reason he gave you 50-50, right?
I don't know.
Well, you were surprised that he was giving you 50-50, right?
Yes.
And the reason that he was giving you 50-50 is that he could not operate that business.
That's not why I
without
was
you.
surprised.
Don't talk over each other. Wait till you finish.
Is that correct? Couldn't operate
No,
without
that's not
you.
why I was surprised. I was surprised because he's a chintz.
Oh, okay. That's why you were surprised. Now, you realize, as a convicted felon 3 times, you cannot possess a firearm. That's like a no-brainer, right?
Yep.
Okay. And so part of your duties with Mr. Keatley in this ice cream truck, part of your duties is that you were going to possess a .45 caliber semi-automatic weapon. That's what you were going to do.
His.
Did you listen to my question? You were going to possess a .45 caliber.
His.
Did I ask you whose it was right now? That wasn't the question. My question to you is, you were going to possess that as part of your duties on that truck.
Yes.
You hadn't told him that you were a 3-time convicted felon, right?
Oh, he already knew that.
Well, how did he know? You didn't
Because
tell him.
yes, I did. Oh, yes, I did.
Tell
He
me
knew
what-
it. He
tell
knew
me
it
what
before I
day.
ever got on that van that I was a convicted
Tell
felon.
me what date you told him.
The day I started working with him.
Beckwith later told investigators that Keatley had a dark plan. He wanted to find the shooters, drag them into the Florida swamps, chain them to a stump, and, in his words, let the gators do what they do. An ex-girlfriend also testified that Keatley was obsessed with vigilante justice. He wasn't just angry, he knew exactly what he wanted to do.
Actively looking for the people that had shot him.
Did he make any statements about thinking that he understands how people take things into their own hands?
Oh,
And matters
yes.
into their own hands. He understands why people do that.
Yes, 100%.
Beckwith backed out when Keatley wanted to confront a man at his home. He pulled the gun on Keatley, threw it back, and walked away for good. But Keatley didn't stop. Witnesses said he kept talking about the shooting and was obsessed with finding someone named Creeper.
Luciano Alonso, who works at a restaurant in Waimama, says Keatley was a regular customer there. He heard all about the robbery.
He said that guy didn't even blink, he just shot me. You know, he put his hand and he shot him in his hand, and that's how he got his hand disabled. He would ask if I knew who Creeper was, if I could find out where a Creeper lived.
Keatley had a friend drive him through the robbery area in disguise, writing down license plates. He believed he found Creeper living on Ocean Mist Court. On November 25th, 2010, at 2:30 a.m., Keatley arrived in his parents' van. 6 men were on a porch. Wearing a sheriff's shirt, he flashed a fake badge and asked, "Who's Creeper?" They said they didn't know. He shot Juan and Sergio Gons point blank, killing them. Then he shot 4 others, Gonzalo, Daniel, Richard, and Ramon, who barely survived.
I remember Richard trying to get his ID out, and I looked at him, and that's when I seen him shoot Richard in the head.
And was Richard kneeling down at the time?
Yes.
And what part of the head did he shoot, the man shoot him in? Was it?
The right side.
Okay. What's going through your mind at this time?
What the hell's going on?
After you saw him shoot Richard Cantu in the head, what happened next?
He shot me.
Could you feel the bullet impacts?
He shot me in my left hand. Because I had my ID out like this.
Okay. Did he ever take the ID from you? Do you recall?
I don't recall.
And after he shot you in the hand, did you feel any more gunshots hit you?
Not that I recall.
Were you shot more than that one time?
Yes, sir.
How many total times were you shot, do you recall?
4.
Where were you hit?
In my left hand, my chest, my torso right here, and then on my lower back.
Could you tell if the other people were getting shot?
I'd heard the gunshots and people grunting and screaming.
Keatley shot the wrong men. Creeper lived 2 doors down and wasn't involved. He was arrested 2 days later after witnesses and evidence pointed to him. Shell casings, his van, and a failed repaint job all linked him to the scene. Casings from his farm matched the ones used in the shooting. He was charged with 2 murders and 4 attempted murders. Denied bail, he spent 12 years in jail before trial. One of Florida's longest delays. Legal issues slowed everything. He ran out of money, lawyers quit, and the state's death penalty laws kept changing. Just as the case moved forward, Keatley made things even messier.
A hunger strike protesting the jail's food menu.
Hey, I'm just trying to get a piece of fruit. I've been out here for over 5 years. I haven't had a piece of fruit since then.
Keatley's hunger strike ended, but the trial didn't begin until 2020. Over several days, both sides presented their evidence. Keatley chose not to testify or make any statement in court.
You understand that it is your decision and your decision alone as to whether or not you testify in this case? Yes. I strongly suggest, though, that you base that decision on consultation with your attorneys. So I want to ask you if you've had sufficient time to discuss your decision with your attorneys.
I have.
Have you made a decision?
Yes, I have.
What is that decision?
I'm not going to testify.
In a surprising move, the defense skipped closing arguments. The jury couldn't agree. 10 voted guilty, 2 not, so the judge declared a mistrial. Then COVID hit. The case was delayed until 2023, when a new jury heard the evidence all over again.
Mr. Keatley is present at Falkenberg Road Jail. Get set for trial in October, if I remember correctly. And I said absolutely under no circumstances are we continuing to...
The trial started again, and Keatley was brought back to court. He didn't look like the strong 39-year-old he used to be. Now, he looked older, tired, and gray. Maybe from all the years in jail, or maybe he just knew how to look that way. This time, the jury fully agreed on the verdict.
We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1, victims Victor Sergio Guitron. The defendant is guilty of murder in the first degree as charged. As to count 2, victim Juan Guitron. A. The defendant is guilty of murder in the first degree as charged.
After years of waiting, the families finally got answers. The judge read the verdicts and asked if the defense wanted to check how each juror voted. Michael Keatley watched quietly. It was hard to tell if he was upset about the verdict or just shocked that the long delays were finally over. His face showed disbelief. Sentencing came later. Some of the men who were shot that night 12 years earlier spoke in court. They asked the question everyone was thinking. How could someone do something so terrible?
How could someone do such a heinous crime to 6 innocent men? You know, it's hard to go through this 12 years to finally get justice for our family. It's you know, the physical damages are always going to be there. With my own brother, Richard Cantu, he has physical damages. I see it every day. It's hard to see that, you know. The emotional damages always going to be there. You know, with 12 years, we've been waiting for this to come to where we're at now, and it's, you know, for my aunt Boss, you know, her 2 kids were taken away from her at such a young age. You know, you know, I went to school with them, and I absolutely love my cousins. You know, to see this happen to that, it's unbearable, and I don't, you know, it's even for my other families that Ramon Galan, like the time that it happened, it was like unthinkable to have this happen to families and friends. Yeah. It's a heinous crime out of hate and hatred for whatever reason, and no family should go through this ever. And here we are 12 years later, finally hopefully getting justice for our family.
You were a coward that night. You hurt so many people. You hurt this lady losing her 2 kids. We know what you did that night, and you know what you did that night. You hurt us. You caused so much pain to everyone involved here. And the way you're showing yourself in this courtroom shows the person that you are. They say forgiving people helps you heal, but I can't forgive you. You took 2 really good people away from this world that were doing the right things in life. And that hurts a lot.
I forgive you what you did, because I know it's not you, it's the devil in you. And you should let go of that. You should ask God to forgive you. Because you ain't escaping none of his wrath. Not even the human's wrath you just heard. I would just like to tell you to ask God to forgive you. Maybe you can find forgiveness and then live a better life as to eternal life. So other than that, you're going straight to hell.
Lastly, Keatley's own attorney spoke in court before the judge gave the final sentence.
However, he has attorneys and there are appeals. And so we have advised him that he must remain silent. So his lack of communication is based on this process moving forward. He has, and he always has maintained great sorrow for what's happened in this case, but he of course has maintained he is not the one who's done that.
Guilty on all 6 counts. I will sentence him to life in prison on each and every one of the 6 counts, with a minimum mandatory of 25 years in each and every one of the counts. In Florida, life means life because there is no possibility of parole. So, Mr. Keatley, you will, barring any reversal on appeal, spend the rest of your natural life in the Florida Department of Corrections.
Finally, Michael Keatley heard his fate. Life in prison with no chance of freedom. His revenge hit the wrong people. 2 innocent men died, 4 were wounded. Who's to blame? Keatley, the robbers, or the police who never caught them? If you enjoyed this video, please like it to support our channel and subscribe for more great content. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next upload. Thanks for watching.